You've definitely noticed that people almost automatically turn their eyes toward dramatic events, accidents, fights, disasters. Even when it has nothing to do with them, it's hard to look away. Why does this happen? Where does this fascination with suffering, conflict, and extreme situations come from? One of the main reasons why people stare directly at dramatic situations is the scan for danger mechanism. Our brain evolved in times when quickly detecting a threat meant life or death. When we see an accident, a fight, or a disaster, our brain instantly goes into alert mode and starts analyzing the scene, looking for what could hurt us or what we should avoid. It's an instinct that makes it almost impossible to look away, even when we're not physically in danger. Another reason is the something is happening syndrome. Daily life can be monotonous. School, work, routines, scrolling social media on repeat. Dramatic situations suddenly break that boredom and deliver an emotional hit of adrenaline. An accident, an argument, a breakdown, even if it doesn't involve us at all, our brain registers it as something intense and engaging, something that stands out from the gray, everyday life. It's a natural reaction. We crave stimuli that pull us out of routine and make life feel more exciting. Another reason is simple but powerful. The brain hates a vacuum and hates not knowing. When we see something dramatic, the mind immediately switches into analysis mode. What happened? Why? And what will the consequences be? We can't just ignore it, because a lack of information creates tension and discomfort. Our brain prefers to know, even if only as an observer, rather than stay in uncertainty. That's why even a random accident, fight, or disaster on social media grabs attention. The brain wants to understand the story, predict the outcome, and close the gap of not knowing before it feels calm again. Another reason is the forbidden fruit effect. Dramatic situations, accidents, tragedies, violence, attract attention because they're forbidden, dangerous, and naturally trigger curiosity. Our brain subconsciously wants to look at things that are normally taboo or too risky to experience in real life. It's like getting pulled into a story you shouldn't be reading. The emotions are stronger, the adrenaline higher, and curiosity pulls your focus right into the center of the scene. The more forbidden or extreme the event is, the harder it is to look away. This curiosity doesn't come from liking drama. It comes from wanting to understand how reality works when it stops being safe. By observing difficult situations, we mentally prepare for what could potentially happen to us too. It's a way to tame fear, to see what real danger looks like, and to understand how people react when things go terribly wrong. Another reason is surprisingly human. The brain immediately starts thinking about how to help, even if we do it completely subconsciously. When we see something dramatic, the mind automatically analyzes possible actions, who to warn, how to react, what could be done to reduce harm. It's an instinct that once helped people survive in communities. Another reason is the effect of staying up to date. In a world full of social media, news, and constant alerts, the brain instinctively wants to know what's happening right now. Dramatic events pull attention because if we don't know about them, we feel out of the loop. This need to stay updated, to understand how the world is changing in real time, makes even a random accident or conflict instantly feel important. Another reason is the so-called blue lights effect. This psychological phenomenon describes our automatic reaction to unusual, sudden stimuli that seem potentially dangerous. Flashing lights, alarms, sirens, accidents. All of these instantly capture attention because the brain interprets them as possible threats that may require reaction. Even if we're not directly in danger, the simple fact that something breaks out of everyday normalcy makes the mind lock onto it. Another reason is what we call morbid curiosity, the desire to understand the darker, more uncomfortable parts of life. People have always wanted to make sense of things like death, suffering, chaos, because these are the things that show us the limits of the world we live in.